What's up, nerds and nerdettes and we little nerdlings all? It's your buddy Big John and G from Two Gun Pixel presents Legendary Gaming, and we are back in the middle of a nor'easter. I wasn't sure if I was going to come out here today. I had it all planned out. I was going to sit out here. I had my umbrella with me. But the problem was I didn't have my umbrella with me. So I wasn't sure if I was going to do this or not. And what is this that I'm doing? I am doing another Tabletop Takeout Tuesday. And the purpose of these videos is me telling you about a game that I love. In fact, I'm not really reviewing the game as much as I'm describing the game the way I would be telling my friends if I wanted to get this game to the table and I had to convince them, listen, this is a good game. You really, really, really got to try this game, guys. Well, instead of saying what I just said. So, the game that I wanted to talk about today is actually very, very special to me. It is one of my favorite games. In fact, the reason it's so special to me is, I guess, two reasons. One, the first and the main reason is that this is the game that made me want to decide to start doing tabletop game reviews. And the reason for that is because I love this game so much and I could find very little about this game online. There wasn't a lot of reviewers talking about it. I think I found like one how-to-play video of this, and so I really wanted to do something about this game, and it just sort of blew up from there. And that game that I'm talking about today is a Dungeons & Dragons game, which is another reason why I'm so excited about this. Now, hold on a second. Any of you that have been following me, that have been watching me, I know a few of you actually said you've been binge watching, may have been watching some of my midday monologue Mondays. And in the past, I have talked about Dungeons & Dragons board games, and I've said how much I do not like them in the sense that none of them are really Dungeons & Dragons. Now, whoa, hold on a second. I love, you know, certain games, regardless of the fact that they're not really Dungeons & Dragons. You know, there's no role-playing to it. There's no real level advancement, except maybe you get one level advancement and they go from first to second level, and that's it. And, you know, that's why I don't like Dungeons & Dragons board games per se. But there are specific games, like Lords of Waterdeep. I love Lords of Waterdeep. I think that's a great game. I think Tyrants of the Underdark, that's another great game. Assault of the Giants, but none of them are Dungeons & Dragons in the sense that D&D is a role-playing game, a game of level advancement. Now, that being said, this game also does not really feel like a Dungeons & Dragons game because of everything I just said, but it's still one of my favorite games, and I just got to tell you about it. And that game is called Infighting. I really, really love infighting, and I'm going to tell you why this game is a game that you should play, especially if you like Dungeons & Dragons. But like I said, since it's not a role-playing game, you don't even have to like Dungeons & Dragons to enjoy this game, Infighting. Now, what I love about Infighting so much is that it is a card and dice game, primarily a dice game that utilizes some cards. That is a barroom fight. But not only, it's not just a barroom fight. It's a barroom fight in a Dungeons & Dragons setting. So you're going to have monsters and magic mixed in with what you would normally expect a barroom fight to be, you know, which is punches and tables hitting people, you know, hitting the wrong person. It brings all of that to your table. So real quick, the way the game is played is everyone's going to choose a character. You have several set characters in the game, and they're all represented on cards. And you're going to use these to represent yourself, but not just yourself. Because you do get certain action cards. Now, the action cards will allow you to do a couple of cool things in the game, but I think the coolest thing about the action cards is what me and the 20-sided warriors call the meat shields. I don't know any other game that really gives you meat shields like this. No, that's not what it's called. They're called, the game calls them bystanders. So what it is you got your character, and certain action cards will give you bystanders. And they're going to take hits normally, generally speaking, before you do. It all depends on the roll of the dice. Depending on the roll of the dice, you're going to be able to hit someone to your left, you're going to be able to hit someone to your right. If they have a meat shield, then you're going to hit the mid shield, unless of course you get a special roll, and then you can bypass and you can go right and you can hit the main player. And if the player goes out, if you're playing the game and somebody takes you out, you just draw another dude, like somebody else just walked in the bar, or somebody came out of the back, or somebody was just sitting there drinking, minding their own business when they couldn't ignore the fight anymore. The game's a point system. Now, the way the point system works, I really like, because the point systems are your health points. They're your hit points. So every time you do damage to somebody, you're gaining that in victory points. You're gaining their health tokens, the hit point tokens, as your victory tokens. And when you get to a certain amount of points, the winner of the game is declared. The game is fast, it's simple, it's easy to play. You can get it on the table and you can play it in 20 and 30 minutes. It's easy to carry. And because of the setting, even though it's, as I said, it's not a Dungeons & Dragons game, it's not a role-playing game, it's not a level advancement game, which is what makes D&D great. It still really feels like D&D because of the characters that are in the game. Like maybe you're the drow bartender. Maybe you're the drunk beholder in the corner. Maybe you're a barbarian or a cleric. You're a tiefling. It's all there, and it feels so D&D, and it feels so much like you. I think that this game is the closest game to being in a bar fight than any of the few bar fight style games that I've actually played. So, Dungeons & Dragons infighting. This game, you gotta play. All right? And again, it's a small game. It's not expensive. I can't remember how much it went for when I got it, because I've had it for a few years, maybe $20, $25. I'm sure by now on eBay and Amazon, you can probably find it cheaper. So, if you like board games, if you like Dungeons & Dragons, if you like dice games, get this game. It's fast, it's quick. You're going to want to play it, and I hope you're going to say thank you to me. All right, everyone. So for Tabletop Takeout Tuesdays, I'm your buddy Big Johnny G with Two Gun Pixie Presents Legendary Gaming. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we're on Zazzle. We have a Zazzle store, and of course, right here on YouTube. So please, thank you for remembering to share our videos, to like our videos, and most importantly, thank you so much for subscribing to Two Gun Pixie. So as I just said, I'm your buddy Big Johnny G, and I am out of here.